If you're a type of man who needs to act all tough in front of everyone, but is as soft as a Shiba Inu inside, you're not alone. You share qualities with a Japanese deity. Takeminakata is a mythical god who is enshrined in the south of Lake Suwa in Nagano Prefecture. He is a macho ancient god of war who is loved by locals, and many feudal lords worshipped him too because they wanted to win a battle. Now, Lake Suwa is known for a majestic phenomenon called the Omiwatari. In January or February, the frozen lake makes a tremendous sound at night, and huge wedges of ice form in the shape of a gigantic dragon's tail. There is a folktale about this Omiwatari phenomenon and the god of war, Takeminakata's soft side. Takeminakata had a beautiful wife named Yasakatome, but they had a fight one day. Yasakatome packed her stuff and left their home shrine in the south of Lake Suwa and moved to the shrine in the north of the lake. So every night, lonely Takeminakata would row to the north of the lake to see his wife and come back the next morning before daybreak.
I made it back before the locals wake up.
Good morning, sir.
I was not doing yoga or baking cookies with my wife on the other side of the lake or anything.
I know you're an independent,
self-made lone wolf.
self-made lone wolf who can totally live without...
Totally.
Who can totally live without your wife's love or comfort, sir.
Exactly. I'm a god of war. I have a brand to maintain.
But one cold morning... Hugh Grant movie marathon with my wife. Life can't get any better. But why is the lake frozen? The sun is rising.
If the locals see me walking home from my wife's place, they're gonna think I'm a vulnerable softie.
So Takeminakata sprinted across the frozen lake, and that is why the Omiwatari ice ridges form on cold nights. Unfortunately, the Omiwatari phenomenon hasn't occurred for a few years now due to global warming. My reason to try to be nicer to Earth is to see Takeminakata's soft side. Shikoku is known for its countless legends and statues of raccoon dogs, or Japanese, Tanuki. Today I bring you the best known story among the many Tanuki-san legends, Awa Tanuki Gassen, the Awa Tanuki Wars. One day, a fabric dyer named Moemon saw a group of villagers surrounding an old pine tree. They were trying to roast out the Tanukis that inhabited a hollow in the tree. That's not nice! Well, they're stealing our crops is also not nice. They have friendship! And you're not! What, so they get to take our earnings because they're plushy? This is Japan! Just take this money, leave them alone! A few days later, Moemon's business is like skyrocketing. My customers come to my shop, they buy my fabrics, and their chronic diseases are healed. Tanuki-san, are you there? Did you become my guardian angel or something? Because I kind of like how your miracles don't make logical sense. I am known as the Kincho Tanuki, 206 years old. You speak! I wish to reciprocate with even greater miracles. You just cured cancer. However, my current power is insufficient to repay your immense kindness. I just gave $5 to 3 people. I must go study the art of transformation to earn an official Tanuki court rank. There's a Tanuki court rank! Under the great Tanuki chief, Rokuemon. So off Kincho Tanuki went and he split up the Tanuki court ranks. And when he got to a point just beneath the highest rank, the chief Rokuemon came to talk to him. Kincho, your talent in transformation is unrivaled. I will be proud if you married my daughter, Princess Shikanoku, and become a powerful son-in-law under my control. Rokuemon is a cruel Tanuki who is at odds with the Tanuki world I consider ideal. Chief Rokuemon, I'm afraid I must decline. I wish to go back to Moemon's place to use my powers to make him a gazillionaire. Goodbye. Wait! Nothing escapes the rule of the great Rokuemon Tanuki. After him! Pursuers! So many of them! Not to worry, friend. This is nowhere near the great Kincho Tanuki should succumb. Taka of Fushinoki-dera Temple! I have lived under the eaves of a beautiful temple for a century. Oh, how I love the nature of Shikoku. But not without you in it. Taka, go. Repay that man like a true Tanuki. So Kincho survived the attack, but before he returned to Moemon's shop, he needed to avenge his friend, Taka. In Japanese folklore, raccoon dogs, or Tanuki, were thought to be mischievous furballs who played pranks on people with their transformation powers. For sport! But what makes them likable is that their transformations always come with flaws, and they often don't end up in the winning side. So here's one such folktale, Tanuki to Hikoichi. Once upon a time, there was a villager named Hikoichi who was the wittiest person the region knew. So a tanuki in the woods nearby was like, I have to throw a prank on that guy, says my tanuki blood. I sometimes wonder, what do we gain from this? Trying to make people shriek. That! I don't know. I tell myself it's our blood like 6 times a day. So Tanuki-san transformed himself into a human traveler to probe into Hikoichi's weaknesses. Who could that be? So late at night. So they really can't do anything about their tail and eye bags. You must be looking for shelter. Traveling man, who I can see is totally human. Come on in, have some hot sake. It's very cold outside. Thank you. During their conversation, Tanuki-san, or Traveler-san, asked, so does Hikoichi-san have a biggest fear or two? Like something that would terrify him to his bones? Daifuku! Oh, the sound of it gives me the creeps. How can something be so devastatingly mochi-mochi? I see you have a loose tongue, Hikoichi-san. The next morning, there was a pile of daifuku at the front door. It tasted good. Is it just me, or does he look happy? He is happy. Damn it! That night, angry Tanuki-san gathered all the rocks he could find in the village and dumped them all over Hikoichi's farmland. That'll get him upset. And the next morning... Thank God these were not horse dog! If they had been horse dog, nothing would have cheered me up. Not even wine mocha matcha tea latte venti size. I see you have a loose tongue, Hikoichi-san. So Tanuki-san dumped horse dung all over Hikoichi's farmland that night, and fertilized it so well that Hikoichi's farm yielded a sea of giant corn that year. Hikoichi-san, you tricked me twice! It's supposed to be the other way around! What's this? It's a thank you card. Oh, this looks really good. The end. Do not mess with a Tanuki-san. A Japanese folktale about a Nezumi-san couple is endearing yet dramatic, and we see foreshadows of Japanese anime and manga storylines. Nezumi no Yomeiri. Once upon a time, 2 Nezumi-sans loved each other in a Nezumi-san village in a totally made-up world. Chorokichi was a young male mouse of the village, and Chuko was the daughter of the village head. Soon, Chuko came of age, and her father, like all other father figures in folklore and today, loved his daughter dearly but understood absolutely nothing about her feelings. Chuko, you must marry someone who can protect you. You must marry the strongest existence known to Nezumi-san kind. Like the Sun-san. Dad, Sun-san will incinerate me on our wedding day. Wait. Aren't Cloud-san stronger than the Sun-san? Can it at least be a mammal? No, Wind-san is stronger than Cloud-san. May I request that my husband takes physical form? No. Wool-sans are stronger than Wind-san. Which wool is it gonna be? Tell me! No, wait! Nezumi-sans are the strongest because we can chew through walls. Did we need this entire conversation? So Father-san decided that the strongest Nezumi-san shall marry his daughter, and therefore, the ultimate Nezumi-san championship match commenced. Entering the ring from my right is the village's mightiest whiskered warrior, Kyota! Entering the ring from my left is Chuko's secret boyfriend, Tanuki! Ganbarimasu. Who will come out on top tonight? Ready! Fight! Chorokichi took countless punches to the face, but refused to surrender. Chorokichi. Stop! That's enough. I now understand. the strongest existence in this cheeseless wasteland are two Nezumi-sans who love each other to the tips of their tails. Chonokichi-kun. 娘をよろしくお願いします。Please take good care of my daughter. So Chuko and Chonokichi lived happily ever after. At this rate, we need a Nezumi-san remake of all love stories. Fellow introverts, hear this beautiful Japanese folktale about an introverted farmer who saved a whole village from a tsunami based on a real person's courageous and thoughtful action. I guarantee this will make your day. Inamura no Hi, the fire in the rice field. Once upon a time, in a region now called Wakayama Prefecture, there was a man named Gihei in a village by the sea. He had become 30, but his introverted personality had kept him single. Aya-chan. I hope I can exchange smiles with her today. From a distance. On the evening of a local festival one summer day, everyone dressed up in beautiful kimonos and headed off to the local shrine. Maybe if I wear this daring kimono today, Aya-chan will notice me, compliment me, conversation will flow, and we'll get married. Oh, great Buddha! Please save my introverted bond! Oh, it's okay now. My grandfather used to say, after an earthquake comes tsunami. I can see the pillows! I need to tell everyone! The shrine's too far. I'm not gonna make it. What if I set these stacks of rice stalks on fire? Maybe they'll notice. Wait. This is Gonbei-san's rice field. Setting someone else's hard work on fire is not nice. I'll set my own rice field on fire. Hey, isn't that Gihei's rice field going up in flames? We gotta tell them! Oh, they noticed! Run! It's a tsunami! I have never seen him speak that loud! Run for your lives! On the way up a mountain, Gihei saw Aya-chan and her grandmother making little progress. Aya-chan! Did I just call her Aya-chan? You need to hurry! Gihei-san, but I can't leave my grandmother. The whole village was destroyed, but the entire village population was safe, thanks to Gihei's awkward but courageous action. The villagers later worked together to build a tall embankment on the shore. Aya-chan was there to help the village's hero slash her husband, introverted Gihei. We may not be able to make combo, but we make things happen! Don't introverts. Japanese folktale pop quiz. What will happen? Once upon a time, Osaru-san found a persimmon seed lying on the ground, and Kani-san found a rice ball lying on the ground. Osaru-san was a con artist, so he was like, oh, this will grow into dozens of fruits. So much more worth than a 7-Eleven rice ball on the ground. So much my benevolent soul can trade this for your 7-Eleven rice ball. And Kani-san was a people pleaser, so she was like, okay. But with months of care, the seed grew into a healthy tree with dozens of ripe persimmons. And then Osaru-san comes along and says, I can get that for you. I have the skills. And he climbs a tree and starts eating all the ripe ones. So Kani-san's like, give me one! My persimmon! And Osaru-san was like, you take this! And threw a rock-solid green persimmon right at Kani-san and killed her. So here's the quiz. What happens to Osaru-san? That's right, Kani-san's child gathers his friends and beats the shimane out of him! Revenge was a core value of medieval Japanese people. This is a children's story, so the characters are cutified a bit, but this was what adults actually actually did if someone caused harm to a fellow villager. There are records and chronicles of villagers rising against a neighboring village after a villager was caught cutting a tree in the mountains beyond his village's boundaries. So what's the moral of the story? That's right, don't wait for karma to do its job. This story, Sarukani Gassen, is still one of those folk tales that every single Japanese child knows. I guess it's now spun into a let's not be a jerk type of moral story. While that is true, the other moral is there are consequences to be delivered to a jerk. You like next day delivery of packages, we like next day delivery of karma. Have a nice day! Zenmondo is the Japanese term for Zen riddle showdowns where monks ask each other paradoxical questions to see who's more enlightened. And some comedian in pre-modern Japan made a comedic story parodying it, and it's called Konnyakumondo. Long story short, a yam cake seller named Rokubei is disguised as the priest of an abandoned temple. And unluckily, a traveling monk comes by and challenges him to a Zenmondo. Knowing nothing about Buddhism, Rokubei decides to keep his mouth shut no matter what. The monk throws him Zen riddles, but getting no response from Rokubei, he mistakenly assumes that he is being challenged back on a silent Zenmondo. Now, because they're only using gestures, they communicate in very different wavelengths. So we first see the silent version, and then from the monk's perspective, and then from Rokubei's perspective. In the monk's mind, this is what happened. He must be challenging me to a silent Zenmondo. Then, how great is your heart? It is as vast as the sea. The universe is maintained with our 5 precepts. Where are the 3 Buddhas? They are right here. I am no match for him. But in Rokubei's mind, it was more like, I know who you are. You're the yam cake seller who sells yam cake this small. No, my yam cakes are huge. Then how much is it for 10 servings? $5. Make that 3. F you. Zen moment. Do Japanese folktales ever end happily? The answer is almost never, but there are a few, and if you're in a tough stage of your life right now, I think this story will help you rise again. Asase Barashi. Once upon a time, a beautiful girl came to work in a village by a big river. She was the quiet type, but it seemed like all the young village men had feelings for her. One morning, several young men followed the girl to confirm the rumor that she went to the river at dawn each day. Sure enough, she walked down to the riverbank and waved to a man from the village on the opposite side. The two were hopelessly in love. But the river was so fast and so deep that nobody could build a bridge over it, and so the couple could only meet across the water. The young men couldn't keep their findings to themselves, and soon the whole village knew about the girl and her secret boyfriend. I'll not tell everyone. She was so embarrassed that she couldn't go out, and neither could she be with her man. She went by the river at night and thought she should just end it all. But while she was stuffing her kimono with rocks so she would sink, she thought to herself, exercise makes me feel better. Oh wait, what if I filled the bottom of the river with these rocks? Wouldn't that let me cross the river one day? The girl threw rocks into the river all night. When morning came, her boyfriend saw her and began throwing rocks in from the other side. They kept doing it for days, and soon the young village men too joined the cause. We gotta help them! For 10 years, everyone in the 2 villages kept throwing in rocks on their way to work and on their way back home. And finally, the shallows were shallow enough to walk on. The girl and the man hugged and cried in the middle of the river. The villagers of both villages cried along in joy, as if it were their own love that triumphed.
That colossal rock! She threw it! That one too!
If you have the energy to beat yourself to misery, use it to take yourself beyond your limits.